George Casey Jr. How you doing, brother?
Great. How about yourself?
We came here again, man. I'm really excited about this Think and Grow Rich series. I definitely pray the audience is excited about this Think and Grow series as we are. So I definitely want to thank you for tuning in to what we're doing. All we're doing is trying to bring something of value to you, something that can allow you to change. Anything you wanted to talk about today in this Think and Grow series today that these people need to learn?
Well, I just like to say that it is one of my favorite books. I think it's one of those books that is going to be around for a long time, as it has been around for a long time. But I think it's made probably more millionaires than probably any other book out there. So I'm very excited about sharing it with the people, MARICO, and no other person I'd rather share it with than you. So I definitely appreciate you, sir.
Man, you know, I just really want to get into it because it's so many nuggets within this book and life practicals that we can take. Because at the end of the day, it's all about modeling how we can find the right thoughts that we can create the right feeling that can give us the actions that are going to produce the results. At the end of the day, it's all about producing the right results that are going to get us the right outcome. Is that right, George? So, you know, I'm just really excited about your experiences in your life and also my experiences. So let's go ahead and get into this book. You know, we started thinking about a farmer, and this first chapter that we're going to be talking about is thoughts and things, right?
Thoughts become things. Absolutely.
This farmer has, let's say for instance, we're a farmer. The farmer goes out and he do what? Cultivate his garden, right? Cultivate his field.
Absolutely.
To get it ready to plant the seed, right? and once the farmer plants the seed, he knows exactly what's going to come up. He have the right expectation going in before he even started planting. He said, I want to grow some apples. So he goes and buys some apple seeds to plant. So he cultivate the garden, cultivate the field, plants the seed. Once he plants the seed, then he have expectation that he going to have a harvest. So what we want to do is, first of all, we want to talk about this series, Thoughts and Things. Anything you want to cover about Barnes or R.U. Darby or the girl that had this demand for that 50 cent from her mother? Anything you wanted to talk about today?
Absolutely, MARICO. But before I do, I want to go back to something you said. The mind is a fertile growing ground. You liken it to a farmer in his garden.
That's right.
And now many of our viewers may say, you know, what does that have to do with my mind? What does that have to do with my mind? But the thing about it is, thoughts become things, but desire is the first seed of the mind.
Correct.
And anytime you plant a seed, you have to have that expectation that is going to grow. If I plant an apple seed, I'm not going to expect oranges. And like, you know, vice versa, if I plant the orange seed, I'm not going to expect the apples. But when you do plant that seed, you have to realize that desire is the first seed of the mind.
You know what's so amazing? It caused me to think about Darby. You know, when Barnes and Darby, you know, I'm going to talk about Barnes first, Edward C. Barnes. See, what was so amazing about Edward C. Barnes, when that seed that he planted was the desire that he wanted to be a business associate with Edison.
Edison, absolutely.
His journey started when he found out what he wanted to do.
Yes.
So once that desire, you're talking about that seed, knowing what you want, he had two obstacles that stood over his way. He didn't have the money. Have you heard that before? People who get opportunities and they say to themselves, well, I don't have the money. And also another obstacle that stood in his way, he didn't even know who Thomas Edison was.
Wow.
So he got two obstacles, but he got the desire. The desire was so big that the how-to came. Anything you want to pick back on that?
That's just right there. What you just said is something serious. You know, it's sometimes that the how is what stops us from getting started. You know, I was talking with a friend the other day, and I said, you know, I was talking about the 5 W's.
Wow.
What, where, when, why, and the fifth W is how. And it doesn't even start with a W. That's the first thing that caught my eye. It doesn't even start with a W, but when you start talking about the 5 W's and throw Y in there, you see the Y and the how, the how is the only one that stands out.
Wow.
The how is the one that's not going to be as important. The one that's going to be more important to me is the why.
That's right.
To me, if the why is strong enough, the how doesn't matter.
Absolutely. You know what's so amazing, Joy? As you were talking about, in the book, it talked about once you figure out what you want, your brain become magnetized.
Absolutely.
It started attracting the situation. It started attracting the people. It started attracting the resources of the thing that you want.
And I'm sure many of our guests have probably heard of the law of attraction, which is kind of along the lines of what we're talking about. You know, the Bible base. If you look at anything in the Bible, anything will tell you that it's your belief. It's as a man believeth, and so is he.
That's right.
So definitely,
you know, that's amazing right there. You know, it made me think about, you know, in the Bible it talks about be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, because every single day, if a person is renewing their mind on that desire, they're renewing their mind on this is what I want to do, I believe eventually it will present itself. Absolutely. You know, it was so amazing. I thought about, you know what, I want to do some real estate investment. You know, it was a while back. It just so happened that the opportunity presented itself. I was eating my lunch. And I was going to drive off to a service station just to wash my hand. And here I am going into a gas station to wash my hand. Coming out of the gas station, I bumped into somebody who was very successful in real estate. One of my greatest mentors right now, because number one, I had a desire back then, and I was willing to stand by that desire. Anything you want to piggyback on that?
One thing that kind of stands out, I'm an Oprah Winfrey fan. A lot of people may know that about me. I believe in what they call the O factor. And the O factor is whatever Oprah Winfrey touches, it kind of turns to gold. But one of the things Oprah used to say is, for years, she carried around the book, The Color Purple. No intentions of ever becoming being in the movie, but carried around the book because she enjoyed it. It was actually one of her favorite books. But years later, she went on to get called for a part in the movie. So it's the desire that brings forth the things that we want in life. But your desire has to be strong enough. You can't worry about the how.
You know, it's so amazing. I definitely recommend this book to other people, because here's the thing we're talking about. We're talking about success. And we're also talking about failure. And what the great thing about this book, it said that the purpose of me doing it was to transfer people's mindset from a failure consciousness to a success consciousness. So it just made me think about R.U. Darby. R.U. Darby, him and his uncle had found some gold, a gold mine. And here they go, going into a gold mine to find some gold, start digging, and thought the gold had ran out. Absolutely. They had got to the point where they were 3 feet from finding more gold, and what did they do?
Gave up.
They gave up. They quit. What was so amazing to me is, if they would have only sought somebody that was an expert in that industry of mining, he would have been a multi-millionaire. Anything you want to piggyback on that?
But it just took me back. I just started smiling just then. It took me back to my freshman year. You know, I went out for the football team, and this particular day, you know, during tour day, we had practice twice in each day. During tour day, we were doing this at this particular practice. We were doing what was called eagle flopping. You know, some may know them as up downs, and it's basically when you run in place, and then the coach will blow a whistle, and then you would hit the ground as fast as you could, and just as fast get back up. With this particular day, MARICO, we did so many that I was mentally, physically, I was just drained and tired. More so probably mentally, but I knew in my mind, I had a set number set in my mind that once I get to this point, this was all I could take. And guess what happened? When I got to that point, I quit. I quit. And I found out just later from speaking to a teammate, he said, George, you know, why did you quit? We only did a couple more. So just like this gentleman, you know, who came 3 feet from gold and stopped, I was so close to my goal. And quit and missed the chance at success. And that's when men quit. When they reach that point to where they can't go anymore, success is imminent, but they don't see it, but they give up, and most times right before success.
Check this out. I want you to continue on this story, and the reason why I want you to continue on this story, because I want the listeners to listen of what happened when you was able to analyze that situation where you were just at the point of quitting, and you did, but years later you was able to extract the experience of what you could have done if you just would have went a little bit further, and how you use that when you was in the military. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, oh yeah. I believe as Socrates says, Mariko, that the unexamined life is not worth living. You know, and with that, I believe he means the things that we go through in life, we may view them as failures, but everything, whether a failure or success, gives us a lesson in life. And it wasn't until later in life that I learned the lesson in that quit, in that failure. You know, years later, I joined the Marine Corps, and they have what's called an initial strength test, and you have to do a series of sit-ups, pull-ups, and run a mile and a half in X amount of time. Well, when I set out to do the run, I had no problem doing with my physical strength. I had no problem doing the pull-ups and the sit-ups, but I had a problem doing the run. And it wasn't until, it was about maybe less than a mile into the run, I would say maybe even less than half a mile into the run, I completely gave up and I stopped. I quit. And it took me back to that same day doing the Eagle Floppers, and I had to go back and I had to analyze the failure and the quitting right before the success. And could I have done more? And then with that breakthrough, I was able to go through and complete Marine Corps boot camp.
Wow. See, what I want them to really understand, see, going into it, I believe that you had, number one, the belief in yourself that you could do it. Number two, you had a state of mind with an expectation you wasn't going to quit. Am I right?
Absolutely.
See, it's just so amazing. It made me think about R.U. Darby in the story when he became a life insurance salesperson. He said that before somebody told me no, he remembered. He remembered, number one, the mind when he was trying to collect the gold, and also when his uncle had told this young girl that she wanted to come and she wanted to get 50 cents, and the uncle told the girl, now I'm not gonna give you 50 cents. Now go before I take the switch to you. But the girl stood still. Because she went in knowing that she could have been hurt, but she had a mindset with the expectation, I'm not going to leave until I get what I came after.
Well, let's let the audience know that in this particular story with the young black girl, it was a time in our society where blacks weren't
That's right.
at that top echelon of society. So it was at that time where if a white man were to tell a black girl something, that girl was supposed to obey. But this girl, her mom wanted that $50 cents. She was determined that she was going to get that 50 cents.
Right.
And as this white man told her, no, get out of here, girl. Get out of here, girl. She said, okay, that's all fine and good, but my mama need that 50 cents. And she stood her ground.
That's right.
and got her 50 cents. And got her 50 cents.
That's amazing right there. And R.U. Darby was able to analyze those moments and was able to go on to become one of the most successful individuals in life insurance sales.
Absolutely.
All because he was willing to analyze his past, not taking his past as a crutch or causing his past to cripple him, but he was able to analyze those life experiences and use it as value and stepping stone for the next opportunity when it presented itself. Because it had been some time when I failed in my life, but I was willing not to let that failure cause to be something that was going to cripple me, stop me, say, you know what, I'm just going to give up, I'm just going to work on a job and I'm never going to try nothing again. No. Let's continue to move forward. Let's analyze, why did you stop 3 feet from goal? Was it a belief? Was it a state of mind? You didn't have the expectation going in? What was it? So when the next opportunity God presents, I'm ready. I'm going to stay prepared, and when it presents itself, boom, I'm taking action. Absolutely. Anything you want to piggyback on that?
That's just the overall. It's such an easy concept, and I love it's a motivational speaker, Eric Thomas, and I love him when he said it's easy. It's not easy. Excuse me. It's not easy, but it's simple. Because if you look at it, if it's easy, everybody would do it. But it is simple, Mariko. Anybody can do it, but everybody doesn't have the physical and mental capacity.
That's right.
To pull it off. And you have to be mentally strong.
Absolutely. And you know what's so amazing? It's a statement. I like that right there because it's simple but not easy. Why is that? Let me tell you. It's just so amazing because what's easy to do it's also easy not to do. Listen to me. Before we did the video, you went and worked out, right?
Right.
Now, you could have said to yourself, you know what, even though I gotta go, but you know what, I want to watch some TV. You know what, the football game is about to come on. You know what, I can't do it right now. I got some people that are gonna be coming. You could have done that. It was easy not to do it, but you made a simple decision that caused a result that's gonna get the great outcome. You're gonna lose the weight that you want to. You're gonna look the way you want to. You're gonna have the energy that you want to because you made a simple decision that was simple but wasn't easy. Anything you want to piggyback on that?
One thing I like about Napoleon Hill is he was given an opportunity by Andrew Carnegie to go out and interview all these successful people at the time. And one thing that came up with about successful people, and one thing I've learned about successful people, is successful people do the things that unsuccessful people won't do. And it's not that they don't feel like it. I didn't feel like exercising today, but I knew I knew my outcome. I knew what my overall goal is to be fit, is to be, have energy. I'm going to be on the road traveling, so I'm going to need that energy. So having that goal in mind, I have to make myself do what regular successful people don't want to do. But you know what, MARICO? They do it anyway.
That's right.
They do it anyway. They go through the pain. They go through the sacrifices. And to me, one of my mental statements, I say, successful people are those that get made when unsuccessful people are asleep. And by that I mean, even viewing my life in boot camp, I was in boot camp, in my opinion, some of the toughest months, right after Thanksgiving. So I was in boot camp during Christmas, during New Year's, Valentine's Day. But I looked at myself and I said, you know what? I know my friends are back on the block. They're partying. They're having a great time. But I want to be successful.
Correct.
I want to be successful. So when at New Year's, when that clock struck 12, I was in my Marine Corps rack saying, I know them boys are having a great time, but I'm here on a mission.
You know what's so amazing? You had made a statement. You said, I wanted to be successful. And your success is different from somebody else's success. It's very important to define what success is, because Edward C. Barnes had to decide what was success. The ultimate goal for him was, I want to be a business partner with Thomas Edison. So let's define what success is. Success is a progressive realization of a goal.
That's it.
So whatever your goal is, if you're progressively moving towards that goal, you are a success.
And I'll give another example. It's a man saying, I'm going to be this, and then he becomes that.
That's right.
He says, I want to be, it could be anything. It could be, I want to be a janitor. The man who says, I want to be a janitor, and then goes out and becomes a janitor, is a success.
And do it at the best of his ability.
Absolutely.
We're coming to a close, and I think there's a book by Tony Robbins called Unlimited Power. And in the book it talks about personal power. What is it? He's saying having the ability to take action.
That's deep.
Edward C. Barnes had the ability to take action, even though he had the obstacles standing here in his way. So I believe it's some viewers right now who have some obstacles standing in their way. It could be unemployment and I want a job. It could be people on their job and want some freedom and own their own business. It could be some people who say, you know what, I want to write a book, but I never wrote before. It could be people that be like, when you first start, you say, you know what, I want to lose some weight, but at the same time, some people maybe say, you know what, how am I going to do that? I don't even know how to eat. I don't even go to the gym. My whole family is like that. So how can people have the personal power to take action? It starts by our
mindset. Absolutely.
Our thoughts. Thought leads to feeling, leads to action, leads to results. Anything you want to pick back before we end this segment?
Just I heard you say something, but mention about obstacles. It's a very interesting thing I heard years ago about obstacles. And it said obstacles are the things that we see when we take our eyes off of our goals. Obstacles are the things that we see when we take our eyes off of our goals.
Absolutely.
And wasn't there a story in the Bible, something similar to that? When Peter took his eyes off of God?
He was walking on water. Here go Peter walking on water. You know, at the first beginning, you got the 12 in the boat. The wind is boisterous. They see Jesus on the water. They get afraid, but Jesus told them, it's me. And Peter asked, Lord, is that you? You know, bid me to come. Jesus said something that was profound. Even in the midst of fear, Jesus being present there, he told Peter to come. Here go Peter, in the midst of fear, having the ability, the personal power to take action, took a step. And because he took a step, his eye was focusing on Jesus. Because his eye was focusing on Jesus, he was able to walk. Because his faith wasn't in himself, his faith was in Jesus.
Right, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So you know what's so amazing? As soon as he looked off of Jesus and looked at the boisterous wind, what happened? He fell.
Absolutely.
So it's just so amazing about this story, having a personal power to take action because of our belief, because of our faith. And we got to have some faith in something. You know, for me, it may not be for some of you, but for me, it's the Bible. That's why I get a lot of my faith from, because I can do all things through Christ. Absolutely. Anything you want to piggyback before we end this?
Just kind of going to wrap it up again and say that thoughts are powerful. We never want you to take your thoughts lightly, because all thoughts have it starts in the mind. Everything that starts in the mind has a physical outcome somewhere in the universe. So that thought is waiting on you, whatever it is. If it's a great thought of hope, that thought of hope is waiting on you. But at the same time, if you plant a seed of destruction, of doubt, of fear, that's what will be waiting on you as well.
Absolutely. I pray that you're taking some copious notes, because this is what I want you to take from this today. Number one, start today with knowing exactly what you want. If you don't know exactly what you want, sit down. I'm talking about, John Maxwell talks about at nighttime taking some time and just think. Just think, just try to figure out, go soul searching to find out what exactly do you want, because Edward C. Barnes' journey started when he found out what he wanted. So number one, find out what you want. Number two, your belief could stop you. You could be sabotaging yourself from having the success you want because of your belief. Barnes could have quit it. He had two obstacles. He could have said, I don't have the money. I don't even know the man. Why am I going to even try? So number one, what are your beliefs? Are you modeling a person who have the belief that whatever you're trying to do, to have that outcome, and also have the state of mind, have the expectation that, you're going to have that, you're going to be that, you're going to do that, whatever it is. So, I really, really got excited about this video. I definitely, we're glad that we did it. Until next time, we'll be talking about desire. But before I do it, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about or say before we end?
Yeah, I just want to close with this thought, MARICO. I give everyone a challenge to increase your thoughts, increase your vision of yourself, and two ways to do that is through prayer and meditation. And I heard an interesting thing yesterday, and it came from Deepak Chopra. Deepak said, prayer is you talking to God. Meditation is receiving the word. So through prayer and meditation, we'll be successful.
That's right. I definitely thank you for joining on this Think and Grow Rich series. Next time we're talking, please check out our YouTube channel. I'll make sure we have that YouTube channel that you'll be able to check out. We'll definitely be posting on Facebook, on YouTube, just making sure we can get some feedback, because it's always good to get some feedback from the audience of what they got or what they received, or some adjustments that we can make. So until next time, take care and also be blessed.
Be blessed.